On this episode, we're going to talk about how to increase engagement on Instagram.
Hello, and welcome to episode 28 of Tip for Tip, where you ask your marketing questions in exchange for a tip in your industry. My name is Aaron.
And my name is Christian, and today we have Twyla from Bottle Bottega in Plano, Texas. Let's hear your question.
Hi, my name's Twyla with Bottle Bottega Plano. My question is, how do I increase engagement on Instagram? I currently post once a day with 7 to 8 hashtags and emojis. The other part of the question would be, is it important to have a certain percentage of followers versus those that you follow?
How to increase engagement on Instagram. Number one tip or trick that we've started using and we've been using for a little bit now is when you post your Instagram photo with your caption, don't put any hashtags in there. Do it as a separate comment to that picture just a few seconds after it, and you can have up to 30 hashtags, and it's recommended that you use all the 30 hashtags in that comment, and obviously you want to make sure that they're related to that picture in particular. And a good way to do this is just to have on your notes app on your phone, or any kind of notes app on your phone, have all those hashtags. Some of them are going to be some generic hashtags, so they're going to be like Plano, Texas, or Bottle Bottega, or maybe arts or painting, or those are very generic. But you want to make sure that you use some generic ones every single time, and then use some specific ones for each particular picture, and do that as a separate comment for each picture.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to say is very much so the generic and specific, but another tip along with that, once you're done posting, go back to all those generic and specific hashtags and spend time, what we call in the trenches, following those people who are using those specific hashtags. If they use Plano, Texas, then they look like they're in your target market. Spend time on their photos, commenting, liking, getting involved in what they're doing. Spend time on the painting ones. Spend time on those generic ones so that you can build an audience that way. That way, I said that way. But so you can actually create an audience that's, again, more specific and generic, and you create a lot more conversation instead of assuming that people are going to start a conversation with you first.
Exactly. And I think the last thing to increase engagement would be to post more than just once a day. I think it's recommended to do twice, even 3 times a day right now, in order to get the most engagement out of your pictures and your account. And then the last thing would be your second question. It was a 2-part question. Does the follower to following ratio matter? No. Right now at this point, it really doesn't. Obviously, you see bigger accounts with a huge following, and they're following very little people. But again, it goes back to you're building your community, you're building relationships, and you want to make sure that you're following people that you are interested in, and that you would actually like, comment, and sometimes even repost some of their pictures.
Right. And so that was it matters the quality of followers you have. So I think that's what we really wanted to say, because he's exactly right. It doesn't matter about the followers, but it does matter if they're like fake bots or anything like that. So that's something to be aware of. But as far as that, you just really want to work on the engagement. Numbers don't matter as much. Yeah. And then one last little quick tip, use emojis. People on Instagram, they like to talk, and the most popular word in the dictionary last year was an emoji. So spread emotion. They have a painting canvas or painting palette on Instagram. I would use that, and you can actually hashtag that emoji. So talking generic hashtags, and you could use an emoji to do that too. Yep. All right. We hope that that's able to help you. Let's hear your tip for us.
My tip for the audience is I get a lot of comments that people come into the art party business and they'll tell me that they have no experience. I can't even draw a stick figure. So my response back to them is, that's great, because most people, actually about 95% of the people that walk in, have no experience. So my artists help guide the guests through the process. And this is something that everyone should try. Do something new. No matter what your age is, stretch yourself to do something new. Art is pretty new to most people, and art therapy is successful because you focus on that one thing as opposed to what we typically do during the day. We have lots of thoughts, we have people talking to us, we have data coming at us, and it's really important to have that one thing. It clears your mind and it's very therapeutic. I have people tell me that they're having a blast after the class is over because it's a new experience to discover that creative side that you didn't think that you had. And it's not an art class, it's an art party. The most important thing is to have fun. Have fun with the group that you're with, or have fun with the people that are at the party that you didn't know. So try new things. Art has no rules. You discover a personality, and the discovery process is a pretty awesome thing. So try new things and come see me at Art Party Business.
Twyla, great tip. You actually spoke right into me. Christian's obviously more the graphic and artist person. I am not. And I did go to a shop, actually it was your shop, and I found it very relaxing, and I was able to put something together that we actually still have them in the house. But the canvases.
Yeah.
But it was relaxing. I put together something, and I am not the artist. I'm not the creative person, and even if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I think that is a great tip for even business owners to just kind of separate themselves and just focus on one thing. So great tip.
Yeah. The first time I did it was for a corporate Christmas getaway type thing, and it was awesome. I loved it. I mean, even though I'm the creative and artist type person, but still, I mean, other people did it, and I mean, it was comparable what I did to what the person next to me drew or painted, and that was awesome.
So both types of people, artists and non-artists.
Yep.
Thank you again, Twyla, for coming on our show.
Yes.
We will have, for everybody watching, we'll have the description for her website, all of her social media. Go follow her on Instagram,
Obviously.
and if you would do us a favor, let them know that you came over from our show so that she can see the effect of the show and get engagement to talk back and forth with you guys.
Yep.
If you would like to come on the show, if you're watching this far into it, you're probably a business owner or at least interested in how much fun we have on the show, and we would love to have you come on the show. So you go to bitbranding.co/tip4tip, fill out a form, we'll contact you, get you on the show, and we just want to help you grow your audience, and that's pretty much it. It's just giving back.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.